I just realized I have my microphone on. You guys can hear me typing. Hey, what's going on, people? Here we go. It's time to play Name That Jussie. Hey, it's Dawg Knight, Marty Johnson, aka Dawg Knight. Welcome to the Morning Night Live, and away we go. Good morning, Jason Dupree. Jason Dupree. I'm sorry. I got your names mixed up. Good morning, Chadwick Dupree. Good morning, Jason Burns. And looking forward to see who else pops in this morning. Yes, today we're going to talk about my favorite subject of the week, and that would be Jussie Smollett. Smollett. I don't know how to say his name. Does anyone know how to pronounce his name? If you can type his name phonetically into the chat, that would be fabulous. I don't even know how to pronounce it. All I know is that Jussie Smollett is an actor on the show Empire, and if you've been following any news for the last 3 days, we know that he was brutally attacked in an incident in the north side of Chicago. Hey, Diesel Dave, good morning. In the north side of Chicago, and there's some problems with this story, and we've been talking about them for the last few days. I've been reluctant to call this completely fake, but I think that the circumstances you've heard over the last several days, many of them just seem to be false. And so we're just going to continue on with more breaking news that has happened today. This morning, let me back up. Last night, I was on Twitter again, and people are talking about this. Oh no. Oh no, I'm sorry. I just saw something that I really just did not need to see. But this is from The Root. And here, I'm going to share this because this is my first time seeing it, but here's the tweet. Jussie Smollett's neighbor claims she saw a redneck with a rope near their apartment building shortly before the attack. Interesting. Now, I'm curious because a redneck with a rope. I mean, let's read this article real quick. This was not in my plan today, but every once in a while I have breaking news, and for me, this is breaking news. Here we go. It's from The Root now, so let's just take this with a bucket. Let's see. I'm going to take it with the entire salt lick. Investigation is underway regarding the recent Jussie Smollett attack as law enforcement officials and fans alike strive for answers. Yeah, no, I don't. One major update came late on Wednesday afternoon when the Chicago Police Department confirmed surveillance footage showing two potential, quote, persons of interest, end quote. Now, I'm going to clarify because I'm going to talk about this a little bit later. These persons of interest were just happened to be people who they finally, after hundreds of hours of surveillance footage, they say that they saw, there were some two people, they finally found at least two people that were walking in the area, in the general vicinity of where the attack supposedly happened. So these are some grainy footage of just two people walking. They do not have footage of the attack. We're going to move on. Now the saga continues as a woman who lives in the same complex as the 35-year-old actor-singer is claiming to have seen a suspicious white man loitering nearby shortly after the reported attack while she was taking her dogs outside. The unidentified woman spoke with TMZ, informing them she saw a man she describes as a redneck. What? The unidentified woman spoke with TMZ, informing them she saw a man she describes as a redneck. Okay. Outside the building she shares with Smollett at around 12:30 a.m. Tuesday, pacing back and forth between the parking garage and the entrance, smoking a cigarette with an agitated demeanor. He was also apparently staring at another man approximately 300 feet away standing near the entrance. Suspicious indeed. Now, this is the root, so let's just keep this in mind. So, she described this guy as a redneck. It's 10 below zero in Chicago that morning. And what was he wearing that made him into a redneck? Was he wearing like a leather Confederate flag jacket? Was he wearing did he have a corncob pipe in his mouth? Was he playing a banjo? I mean, how do you describe him as a redneck? Hey, good morning, Zombie Teddy. What's happening? Good question. It was fucking cold, and at half of the places in Chicago you can't smoke in so I would have been pacing around too, pissed off. Yeah, you can't smoke inside anywhere in Chicago, just like a lot of states. Anyway, he looked out of place, she said, noting she returned to the building after being creeped out by the man. Interesting. She described the man as white with facial scruff, wearing a blue winter beanie, and a blue zip-up hoodie sweatshirt, 2 short blue jeans that exposed his thick gray hunting socks and camel-colored dress shoes. Wow, that's some serious detail. That's amazing that she remembers that much about someone she was creeped out about. Usually when you're creeped out about someone, I don't know if you take down that description in your mind that close. The most notable thing she claims to have spotted is a blue and white rope or clothesline hanging from the white man's sweatshirt. As previously reported, Smollet claimed to CPD that he was attacked with a noose and a chemical substance believed to be bleach. After hearing of Smollett's attack, the woman informed the building's concierge, who then directed her to contact detectives. As more details come in, hopefully we're getting close to finding some concrete answers. That's interesting because the police have been looking at hundreds of hours of video footage, and I'm pretty sure that this is a security building where this famous actor works, or lives. So let's just assume that there's some video footage of these people that she's describing somewhere near the building. I'm pretty sure there probably would be. Hey, I got a new watcher here. Let's see, RVADAR. Good morning. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'll just call you Dar. How's that sound? Yeah, blue and white rope. Go figure. Blue and white rope. Now, all right. So that's some new information that we haven't seen before. I'm going to give you the biggest eye roll as I take a sip of my cup of reparations coffee. Courtesy of Hotep Jesus. All right. So let's get back into this now. Let's do a little transition here. So last night I happened to be looking at some more, what do you call them? More information on this. And so let's go to some of the things that I saw. Let's quickly go down here. So Rob Elgis, who's from ABC News in Chicago, Dar is fine, excellent. Okay, who is from ABC News in Chicago, is probably the best person to follow if you want updates on this particular information. And so last night he gave this breaking news. This is when I was on. I did a stream yesterday afternoon, and oh, by the way, those of you here, remember, please, if you scroll up in the chat. I wonder if I can copy and paste this again. No, I can't. Let's see if I can copy. Oh, I can copy and paste it, though. If you'd be so kind to share this out, either through Twitter in the link that I'm giving you here right now, or if you can do it through just below the screen there, you see that little share button. Share this out. Let people know that the stream's going on, and we'll have more people join in and have some fun in the chat also. All right, so okay, so back to this. Last night, got a bunch of breaking news. This Rob Elgis from ABC News, you can see that pop up there. He's a 10 p.m. reporter and a 4 p.m. anchor in Chicago, and he's been on top of this like you would not believe. So the report last night, breaking Chicago police released 2 photos of potential persons of interest. They finally got the photos up, and so they have these really grainy photos of just some people walking, And then they showed the picture of the actual community alert because of the type of crime it was. Well, moving on, the story keeps developing. And so let's go through some of his tweets from since then. So 13 hours ago, this is new. ABC reporting Smollett's music manager, Brandon Moore, has confirmed a Variety report that he was on the phone with Smollett during the alleged attack and heard some of the incident. Okay, so he was on the phone with Smollett, heard some of it. Next tweet, Brandon Moore tells ABC he gave his account to Chicago police. We are trying to confirm that. Moore also says he heard the words MAGA country. Okay, so this is, they say this is during the beating. Smollett's on his phone. Did Smollett drop his phone or anything? And he happened to just hear the words MAGA country. Hey, Smarty Bear, nice to see you. He says he heard that clearly and heard the racial slur. So a couple hours later, he says, I've spoken to Chicago police and can share a few more details about the investigation. Writing a quick story for the 10 p.m. news. Give me 10 minutes. So here's what he came up with. Chicago police confirmed that Jussie Smollet and his music manager, Brandon Moore, told detectives they were on the phone when Smollet was being attacked. Now, and apparently he was able to fight off attack while he was on the phone. The other thing, too, is Smollet is not a very large individual. If these guys were attacking him, I'm surprised he survived it. But you don't know how big the people who attacked him are. However, detectives are unable to independently verify the call occurred because Smollet refused to turn over his phone. Apparently Smollett doesn't want, who knows why? Who knows why? That's curious. I'm just saying. That's the title of my stream today. Curiouser and curiouser. Now to the surveillance camera images video of Smollett and who police call the potential persons of interest. Detectives used time codes from 2 different cameras to piece together Smollett's movements when he was near them. On one camera, they are seated at a bench. This is the persons of interest. The other camera shows Smollet across the street. Police say both Smollet and the persons of interest walk out of frame on different cameras. Smollet would reappear on a different camera about a minute later. So 1 minute later. So basically for about 60 seconds, Smollet is not on surveillance camera. Now, let me clarify. On one camera, the persons of interest are seated at a bench. Across the same street, Smollet is seen walking. Smollet is recorded on that different camera walking. The person of interest is also seen walking, but on the other side of the same street. The next time Smollet is seen on surveillance camera, he is entering a condo building. Police say he now has a rope around his neck and is wearing it like a necktie. About a minute, maybe less, has passed since he was seen on video. So 1 minute, he's seen walking. The other guys are on the other side of the street. And then within a minute, he's walking into his building with the rope around, wearing a rope around his neck, like a necktie. Smollet, according to investigators, walks into the building, walks by building security, and gets on an elevator. This video is better quality according to the detectives, and what appears to be road salt is on his sweatshirt. Smollet would go to an acquaintance's home, and that is where police arrived to take his report. So, and then they have the report of the investigation, which they did last night on the news. Wow. So that's really, really interesting. So let's look at the ABC Chicago report now. So, in fact, let's see. This is Rob Elgis. He's the guy who wrote it. Now here's the weird thing. So he walks right by the security guard. Let's read this again because I'm a little confused. Maybe you are too. So again, the next time Smollett is seen on surveillance cameras entering the condo building, police say he now has a rope around his neck and is wearing it like a necktie. About a minute, maybe less, has passed since he was seen on video. So there was only a minute frame where he wasn't seen walking on the video. 60 seconds later, he's wearing the tie and walking into the building. So how long would the attack have taken? I mean, that would... this is nuts. And then, according to investigators, walks into the building, walks by building security, doesn't say anything to building security. Okay, you just got attacked. Wouldn't you ask building security to call the police? Wouldn't that be the first, before you even went to your friend's place? Wouldn't you? Okay, this makes no sense whatsoever. It's weird. Now, again, I am, I don't know why. I have no idea why, but I'm going to say, I'm not giving the benefit of the doubt because I don't believe this in my head at all, but I'm not going to overly verbalize that because you never know. Crazy things happen, but this don't smell right. So let's go read this article on ABC Chicago. Let's see if there's anything in here. Okay, so surveillance capture video captured potential person of interest in the attack on Empire actor Jussie Smollett in the Streeterville neighborhood, Chicago police said Wednesday afternoon. Chicago police released photos late Wednesday. The photos showed two silhouettes on New Street near Illinois between 1:30 a.m. and 1:45 a.m. Tuesday. At about 2 p.m. Tuesday, Smollett, 36, reported he was walking alone on the 300 block of East North Water Street when two people he didn't know started yelling racial and homophobic slurs at him, police said. He told police that the attackers yelled, "MAGA country," Googly Amy said. Now remember, he did not... Oh, hey, Owen Harmon, nice to see you. Alan Sawyer, good morning. I haven't said hi to you yet. Now remember, when they first talked to him, he said nothing about the MAGA country. This is in another article we read yesterday. Then, after the TMC, the police heard, the first time the police heard about this thing about MAGA country was after TMZ reported it happened. So somebody in Smollett's camp called TMZ and gave them details that they had not given the police yet. Then when they later asked Smollett, in a subsequent interview, he said, oh, yes, that was also part of what happened, that he hadn't told them that yet. So that's very, very strange. All right, moving on. Police are investigating the incident as a possible hate crime. A dozen detectives are working on the case. Now, remember what maybe if you weren't here yesterday, you know, a lot of people like to talk about white privilege a lot. Well, this is called celebrity privilege, because I guarantee you there are not a dozen detectives working on a single murder case in Chicago right now. Not one, but there is a dozen detectives working on this case. A dozen detectives are working on the case and have reviewed hundreds of hours of surveillance video before finding the image of the potential persons of interest. Chicago police said they would like to bring two people in for questioning. Let's see. Obviously, the alleged statement of what happened here is horrific, and there's no place for it in the city of Chicago, said Mayor Rahm Emanuel during a Wednesday evening press briefing about the city's response to a historic cold. And then this is just the rest of people, you know, dick wagging about what they think's going on here. Let me see. Let's see if. Oh gosh, do I have to listen to a sponsor video here? I'm gonna turn this off. I'm gonna go back to just a picture of me while we're waiting for this. I know you'd rather see my lovely face than hear a commercial here. You know, I should probably turn my headphones on. I can't
Everybody
hear.
Wanna go and talk it. At the same time, gotta walk it. When I go to sleep, I only
You get to hear some nice music there. Oh. Can you hear that music? I bet you can.
Police released these photos.
All right, so let's watch the report from Channel 5 or Channel 7 here. Let's go back to here so you can see what. Let me hear. I'm going to read a couple. Get caught up in the chat here. You would think he would ask building security to call an ambulance. You know, that's the other thing too. You know, so there were reports supposedly they had a broken rib or something like that, but then. I saw another story. He's doing a concert in Los Angeles later this week, maybe even tonight. And they said, well, they're not canceling the concert. And then also you see the pictures and they said, you know, this is a brutal beating, supposedly. A brutal beating. Right now, the brutal beating only took 60 seconds. Also, this brutal beating, there was another call where he said that there were no injuries. So right now, there's even a question of if he had actual injuries. The interesting thing is the New York Daily News, which is kind of a whacked out news source in New York. There's super right-wing sources and there's super left-wing sources, and New York Daily News definitely qualifies as the super left-wing source. In fact, New York Daily News is the newspaper that Sean King used to write for, if that just gives you any indication. But their headline was that Smollett was hospitalized. Now, when someone says hospitalized to me, when someone says hospitalized, my first image is that they're in the hospital after a brutal beating, admitted and in their, you know, in a hospital bed recovering. That's not the case. He went, they said he wouldn't let police take him to the hospital. The police didn't think he looked injured at all, other than a small scratch on his face, maybe a bruise, and he would not let them transport them. They wouldn't let him call emergency medical services. The story is he transported himself, or his friend transported him. Then the hospital, since, you know, you have HIPAA guidelines, so the hospital can't talk about what happened to him. But the hospital, he left the hospital after 2 hours of being there, meaning he waited for a short period of time, got checked out, and they released him. So he was never hospitalized. He went to the hospital to get checked out. So yes, he's going to go. Yes, Tyler F. Wait, he's going to perform a concert with a broken rib. Yes, they're not canceling this concert that he has in Los Angeles with a broken rib. You got to breathe when you're singing. Breathing is very important, and ribs are right around your rib cage and where you breathe, and that got to hurt. But he's going to perform a concert anyway. And he's not, and if you ever watch him perform, he's not exactly stationary when he's performing. So that's another interesting thing. So anyway, let's go watch this. Let's watch this Chicago report. I believe this is Rob Estes, maybe, possibly. Let's go. Let's watch it.
Calling these people, quote, potential persons of interest. And late tonight, a spokesman confirmed Smollett and his music manager did tell detectives they were on the phone as the alleged attack unfolded. But investigators were unable to independently verify phone records because Smollett declined to turn his phone over.
Okay, I think I've learned how to say his name now. Smollett. But he declined to turn over his phone and/or phone records. Did you hear that beep? Okay, well, here we go.
And tonight, the mayor also weighing in.
Obviously, the alleged statement of what happened here is her.
Interesting. Listen to his words again. His first words out of the alleged statement. Now, maybe that's just him being cautious. I think it's very smart for Mayor Emanuel to be cautious.
Obviously, the alleged statement of what happened here is horrific, and there's no place for it here in the city of Chicago.
Horrific. There's these words keep getting thrown out, and the more I watch this, I'm thinking, they're playing this up. Horrific, brutal beating, vicious attack. But right now, in a way, I hope it's real. They find the perpetrators and throw their asses in jail for a long time. Only because, God, let me finish my thought here. Because I don't want this to be another lie, okay? I don't want this to be another black man lying about a hate crime. You know, I want it to be true only just because I'm tired of, you know, it doesn't make anyone look good, okay? But on the other hand, there's just too much bullshit in this story. Let's go on.
Mayor Rahm Emanuel talks about a case attracting national headlines. Actor Jussie Smollet telling police he was brutally attacked in Chicago early Tuesday morning. Police tell ABC7 a dozen detectives are pursuing new leads.
Again, a dozen detectives on a guy supposedly getting beat up with no major injuries. How many murders are there in Chicago right now unsolved? Are there a dozen detectives working on a single one of those cases? It's craziness. And this story is falling apart.
Including grainy.
This guy is using up a lot of police resources. That's, you know what, maybe that's why I wish maybe this were, I hope that this was real and that all these resources they're using are being used for something that actually happened and they can do something about it. Because if this is fake, people should be outraged, but you know they won't. I'm watching people on Twitter talk about this like the original story is solid, and they've already got the evidence, and they already got, and, you know, of course it's because, you know, all the terrible MAGA people are, you know, racist and homophobic and everything, and yet this story's falling apart. It's crazy.
Photos of two persons of interest. Tonight, police have tracked Jussie Smollet's movements, confirming video shows Smollet walking across the street from those two persons of interest. He walks out of frame for about a minute and reappears on another camera, quote, wearing a rope like a necktie.
Now, as I said, a brutal, vicious attack. He walks out of the frame for about a minute, reappears on another camera wearing a rope like a necktie.
There is no video of an assault. Investigators say Smollet then walked into an apartment building, passing security and boarding an elevator. He would enter an apartment, and that's where police were eventually called. Police also confirmed Smollet told them he was on the phone with his manager as his attackers yelled racial and homophobic slurs. But detectives can't verify because he refused to give them his phone.
So, right now we have two guys across the street. He's walking down the street. Within a 60-second window where he's not on camera, these guys had the time to, if it was these two guys, that these persons of interest, within 60 seconds, yell racial and homophobic slurs, run across the street, brutally beat Jussie Smollett, pour bleach on him, put a noose around his neck, which the police said looked like a brand new clothesline that was just unwrapped. And you know how they know, like when you ever, you know, have you ever opened up a, like a brand new wrapped piece of rope or anything? Like I've bought clotheslines and you wrap them up and when you unroll them, they still have all the bends in it from where they're wrapped up. So they can tell if it's a brand new, you know, brand new rope. Okay, so again, and so we're still in the 60 seconds, and all those things have happened. Brutally beaten, punched with hands and fists. He fought them off. They have already run away, and he's come back into frame within 60 seconds, walks into the building with a rope around his neck, and goes past security and doesn't say, "Call the police. I've just been mugged." This is unreal. Yeah, Alan, I agree. They just need to cover their stupidity from the Covington story, and they're doubling down. This is insane. And I really don't know who this guy is, his career. Yeah, you know, he's on the show Empire, which is a fairly popular show on Fox. It's like I call it Dynasty for black people. It's a kind of a soap opera-y show about this music mogul dynasty, and you know, Lewis Lyon or whatever, something Lyon, and he plays one of the sons who's also a musician, and he performs in the show, and now he's got somewhat of a music career on top of that, basically from the show. He was also, I'm trying to think what show he was in. He was a child actor too. I can't remember the show, but he's been around for a while. But you wouldn't know. Most people wouldn't know him from Adam. And on a cold day in Chicago at 2 in the morning, at 10 degrees below zero, when you're probably all wrapped up in a coat and things, who's going to recognize you in the dark from across the street? Nobody. Anyway, let's go here. Yeah, still brutal, vicious, and still on his feet walking 60 seconds later. Let's finish this real quick.
Police also say Smollet had road salt on his sweatshirt, but nowhere else on his body in surveillance video. Detectives also were back at the scene yesterday with Smollet as he retraced what he says happened early in the morning.
Okay, so let's, I'm going to close that before this next report comes on. Yeah, that's, again, this is really, really odd. I mean, there's just nothing in this. All right, let's go. By the way, I'm going to thank a couple people real quick. Thank you, Circus Zero, if you are here, for retweeting my my tweet for the stream. Also, Big E. I don't know if Big E goes by a different name in the chat, but that's fine. And did I say good morning, Tyler F? Let's see. I'm curious to see the video because I would still not be just walking within the first minute of me just getting a crap kicked out of me and having a noose put on me. I would be hauling ass. Yeah, he's still walking. He just got the shit beat out of him. Doesn't stop by security. And the rope is still around his neck 45 minutes later when a police arrive. Oh my gosh. It's hilarious. So, oh, thank you, Chadwick. I smeared you on, I'm assuming that means Discord, don't do Twitter. I smeared you and what? Discard. What's smeared? What does smear mean? I don't even know what that is. It must be another type thing. But hey, I appreciate it. Thank you. And if you're a new viewer here, thank you for coming. Welcome to the show. We've been talking about Jussie Smollet. Smollet, that's how you say his name. So let's see. Let's get back to where I was. So that's Rob L. He's been just invaluable information. He's a reporter who's been on this like crazy. Hey, good morning, Zombie Teddy. Yes, it seems very staged. They had the note from a few weeks ago. Yeah, so it's crazy here. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you again, Chadwick. I spread the link around. Sorry, half my face is paralyzed and I'm using the voice text. Well, hey, I'm sorry to hear that. I don't know the situation. We'll probably get to know you sometime here and figure out what's going on there. So, yeah, so that was one of the things that we saw yesterday. Rob Elgis is doing that. And then what was the other thing here? Just some related fucketry as far as this goes. I've been watching people tweet about this. Let's see, where is it? I'm sorry. Sometimes I do this. I get caught up and forget what I was doing. Oh yeah. So as they were doing this, releasing this person of interest, Bobby Rush, who is a congressman from the Chicagoland area. He's not from the same district. I'm pretty sure that, I know Dick Durbin's a senator, but there's just different people who are making statements about this. And let me find the one from Bobby Rush, because this one kind of annoyed me too. So here it is in this article that got put out. Bobby Rush, a Democratic congressman from Chicago. Bobby Rush is not from this district, though. This is trying to think if this is. Well, I know it's not Bobby Rush. Anyway, issued a statement calling. Oh, here's the thing: the FBI investigating a threatening letter targeting Smollett that was sent last week to the Fox studio in Chicago, where Empire is filmed. Googly Amy said the FBI did not immediately return a call to seek comment Wednesday. Bobby Rush, a Democratic congressman from Chicago issued a statement calling on the agency to conduct an immediate and sweeping civil rights investigation into the racist and homophobic attack. Now, I kind of get what Bobby Rush is looking for here, but this statement makes absolutely no sense. An immediate and sweeping civil rights investigation into a local violent attack, whether or not there were racist and homophobic questions here. Civil rights are the rights from the state, okay? And so my response to that was this. Let me think. So, can we find the perps first? Because they've got a dozen people investigating this. The civil part is doing its job. They've got a dozen detectives looking for these perpetrators of this violent, terrible act. So the civil rights are being. Why would you don't have to investigate the civil part. The civil part's being taken care of. The city and the detectives are looking for these guys. You got the FBI looking at another aspect of this. It's related, but not this particular incident. Shut up, Bobby. Seriously, that's just stupid. That's just dumb. And then also just people questioning about, who goes to a Subway at 2 a.m. and I think the question was, is Subway really open at 2 a.m.? Yeah, there's several Subways in that area that are open 24 hours a day. This is Chicago. It's a big city. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on in this area. It's it's a dense residential area, but there's also a lot of businesses around there. So it's not. There are places where, believe me, there are places where Subways are open 24 hours. And I don't mean the kind that takes you from one place to another. Hey, hi, Sarah. I just saw you there. It's okay. You're not late. You're right on time. If you're here, you're on time. And I also appreciate you tweeting out the link to this stream. So thank you very much. So moving on, there was a couple other items. Let's see if I can find them real quick. But just some of these stories that have come out. So this is from GQ magazine. Everyone loves GQ, and this is unfortunately this is also from yesterday. The racist homophobic attack on Jussie Smollet is far-right America's endgame. Yes. This is the right's goal, is to beat up some gay black movie star. That's the goal. Let's read this. When one of the most famous black and gay men in America is not safe, the message is clearer than it has ever been. So let me ask you all a question real quick. Can you think of any more famous black and gay men? Because Jussie Smollet is not. I don't even consider him famous. He's famous if you watch the show Empire. If you watch the show Empire, you know who he is. If you do not watch the show Empire, you do not know who he is. So let me ask you just in the chat real quick. Can you type in, do you know any other gay famous men? I'm going to say, here's my contribution. I'll put it in the chat right now. RuPaul's more famous. And I think he's gay. I don't know. Is RuPaul gay? I don't know. I have to assume so. I mean, he's been doing drag forever. But in fact, I know he's gay. I don't even know why. That's stupid. Yeah, I went with RuPaul too, Dar. This guy's not that famous. Anyway, so this is early Tuesday morning. Jussie Smollett, Kevin Hart. Oh, by the way, oh my gosh, Kevin Hart is taking a beating on this thing. Here, let's look that up. Gosh, I forget this story. This is another story talking about high rate bear. Oh my gosh, yes, that's hilarious. But you got to remember, Alex is not in America. Okay, he just he just hangs here for he hangs out here virtually for a living. Oh my gosh, I got to tell Bear about that one. Bear should be here. Somebody, I should, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Basically, this article is just, listen to the dripping, just the drip. I don't even know what to call it, but listen to this article. I'm going to read it dramatically. Early Tuesday morning, Jussie Smollet, the 36-year-old star of Fox's Empire, left a Chicago restaurant and was reportedly accosted by two men who proceeded to shout racial and homophobic slurs before beating him, pouring an unknown chemical substance on him, and wrapping a rope around his neck before fleeing the scene. According to a statement issued by Chicago police, the incident is being investigated as a possible hate crime. The cautious wording is one last wound inflicted on Smollett's battered body. I can't even put a straight face. His battered body that was seen walking 60 seconds later. A careful hedging of bets that don't need hedging. A crime scene involving a corpse is not discussed as a possible death. But the stodgy apparatus of law enforcement isn't particularly interested in acknowledging social ills. And neither is the news media when it goose steps around the truth of the matter with shallow euphemisms like racially charged, used to describe open, proud bigotry. Whiteness occurs in 21st century America as an endgame, and it is this to divest itself from the shame of its power while working to revive the fear it needs in which to thrive. And there is work being done. Work done by panels of respectable seeming men and women on cable news networks dismissing the red MAGA hats as innocuous. Work done by politicians who continue to openly lie about the danger immigrants pose to Americans while choosing to ignore that almost all violent existing crime is committed by right-wing terrorists. By the refusal to acknowledge that bigotry is alive and well, perpetrated by racists and homophobes targeting people like Smollet. Criminals who have no qualms in sharing what motivates them. Hate needs to sign its work. That's how hate persists. Ladies and gentlemen, the assault on Jussie Smollet is not an isolated incident. Americans who do not fit the white, straight, male, Christian mold of the ruling class are being targeted with concerning regularity in synagogues and churches and nightclubs. Now, I'm going to stop for a second. I should be an actor. I should take, if he gets, you know what, Jussie, if you're unable to fulfill your duties as the son of whatever, Louis Lyon or whatever the name of the character is, I volunteer to take your place. I could do it. I could pretend. I could act like a gay black male who can sing. I can sing. I'm a pretty good singer. All right, real quick though. Now let's go back. Let's just stop here for a second because they have links to they have a lot of hyperlinks in here. So when they're talking about the mold of the ruling class are being targeted with concerning regularity in synagogues, churches, and nightclubs, let me let me see if you can guess what these three examples are. I'm not going to let you guess because it takes me too long. There's too much of a lag. The synagogues is the synagogue shooting in Pittsburgh. The churches, believe it or not, is a link to the Dylan Roof case. And the nightclubs is the shooting in Orlando at the Pulse nightclub. Remember that one? The Pulse nightclub, the gay nightclub where the non-white Muslim dude went in and shot up the nightclub and killed 59 people or whatever it was. Whiteness is a 21st America has an end game. Whiteness in 21st America has an end game. Pulse nightclub. What? Let me continue in my dramatic reading of this article in GQ magazine. Oh, by the way, this is where he clarifies that what I just said. The perpetrators are not all white, but they are cultivated in a culture built to reward the narrow slice of Americans that have lives that mirror those of the powerful and largely disregard the misfortune of those who do not. What misfortune? You know what? Am I powerful? I live in a pretty nice house here. I have a nice piano. You see my piano back there, right? It's a nice piano, and we got some antique furniture and stuff. And yeah, I'm the misfortune of those who do not. I don't know. Am I supposed to be misfortune because I'm not white? All right, let's go. At this late stage, the message is clearer than it has ever been. Jussie Smollett is a successful actor on a popular television series, one of the most famous black and gay men in America, and even he is not safe. A rope was put around his neck because he dared to be a person who did not hide who he was. Well, yeah, he was in the dark at 2 a.m. in the frozen tundra of Chicago and in the middle of the street. Whatever. He wasn't hiding. What? What? Sorry, I keep getting caught up in this. You do not put a rope on a person of color in America unless you're interested in sending messages. One to the people you hate and another to those who you think will agree with you. Yeah, a brand new clothesline. Wow. A still disputed aspect of the attack on Smollett is a line shouted after his attackers fled the scene. This is MAGA country. While its veracity isn't confirmed, its sentiments need no fact check. So it doesn't matter if that really happened. That's what it is. No matter what the situation is. This could have been a bad Tinder date. After they went to Target to buy some laundry supplies. But the veracity isn't confirmed. Its sentiments need no fact check. America's choice is to embrace the blind rage of late-stage whiteness in decline. It is an explicit longing for this kind of crime. An explicit longing for this kind of crime. Yep, we want this to happen as much as possible. Not we, because I'm not, I'm not, but whatever. I'm half, but I don't think that counts, because Smollett is half too. Okay, let's just not go there. Hey, Maniac Man, how you doing? Tarkata, how you doing? Just saw you pop in. Let's go. Where was I? Oh, the rage of late-stage whiteness is in decline. It is an explicit longing for this kind of crime, a version of America in which those who do not assimilate to the satisfaction of their white, straight, Christian betters are subject to the impunity of law enforcement, the scorn of media, and the fury of racist homophobes stalking the streets of your city, who want you to know that they could lynch you if they really wanted to, and maybe get away with it too. Yes, that is the message of this crime, this brutal, vengeful attack. I don't know. I went all AMSR on you. Okay, so again, just more bullshit. In the famous game of I'll take shit that didn't happen for 2,000, Alex. But again, we still don't know for sure if this did not, if this happened, whatever. Anyway, so let's see where we at here. All right, so that may be it for this for now. I know there's a lot of, as I'm watching different people talk about this. Oh, need a sip of coffee. Hang on. As I watch people talk about this, there are so many stupid things about it that people just say. In fact, you know what? Let's do this. I just thought of this. Let's go through the hashtag Jussie Smollet. This ought to be good. Wait, let me see. Wait, first let's check CWB Chicago, see if they have anything new. Nope, looks like they're just retweeting Rob Estes. Or sorry, not Rob Elgis from ABC. Yeah, there's nothing here. And Chicago Scanner. No, nothing new. All right, so nothing new on CWB Chicago, which is the local. It's the CWB Chicago is a kind of a neighborhood kind of police watchdog. They follow the police and do that thing where they keep track of what's going on in their area. They've been also very substantial as far as the information that I've been getting, and they're the ones I trust. They're the local people in Chicago who are in constant contact with the police and what's going on here. So let's go look at the Jussie Smollet hashtag just to see what else we can find. Let's go there, Jussie Smollett. There's about 100 tweets going on right now, so let's go through this because people haven't paid attention. They only heard what they heard. And we have Sandra Goodrich. She has 14 followers. She's new. What happened to Jussie Smollett is pure hatred. I'm so sorry. No one should have to experience such hate for 60 seconds, apparently. My mom said the Jussie Smollett incident was a publicity stunt. How do I tell my mama she's cut the fuck off? Because I just like, what? Yeah, I've got some bad news for you, Belhani. Is my cursor showing up? Here, let me do something real quick. I'm going to do this. I'm going to click here, and pop here to see if my cursor is swimming around in there. Yeah, you can't see the cursor. Hang on. Let me fix this so you can see the cursor. So it'll make it easier for you to follow what I'm reading at the time. Did I do that right? No, I transitioned wrong. Let's go here, back there. Let's go back into here. Oh. Sorry, you're going to have to bear with me here. Just 1 second. Oh, wait, that's not right. What am I doing? You know, one of these days I'm going to learn how to use this without having to make you wait for me to learn it. There we go. That's what I want to see. There we go. Capture cursor. There we go. All right, now you'll be able to see the cursor as I do these articles. All right, here we go. Why is this showing? What's going on here? That's not what I want to see. Oh, because I still have this on here. All right, back into the hashtag Jussie Smollett. Yeah. You know, Zombie Ted, Theodore, I am a boomer. What you gonna do about it? Well, actually, I'm the cusp of an actual boomer. Because I was born the last year of the boomers and the first year of Generation X, which is 1964. So, boomer doesn't bother me. All right, here we go. Yeah, so this, yeah, you're going to be disappointed. I got a feeling this woman, Belani, whatever she calls herself, is going to be disappointed. So we'll figure that out. And then, yeah, real Donald Trump, you must be proud of your MAGA idiots. Well, yeah, you're going to be, these are from a few days ago. I wonder if something more could, let's see. Donald Francis Draper, that's kind of a, that's a joke. Someone with a gab, what do you call these things? Avatar. I have my theories, but I'm not going to say anything about the Jussie Smollett incident until all of the facts are in. It's best not to repeat the same mistakes that were made during the Covington Catholic controversy. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on here. Here, I'm going to say good morning to my wife real quick. And she's gone. I think she went to work. Okay. Yeah, no discoloration of his hair, clothes, pics of the rope. So much has happened, yet no trace. There are cameras all over that garage. Rope carries so much DNA. Surely the rope would be a good place to start. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the police have thought of that. And they do have the rope, and they are examining it. And it was and like I said, the rope looked like it came right out of the package, according to the police. So they'll be able to tell if more than one person has handled that rope. But it'll be interesting. I'm looking for some of the... Oh, here's another one. This is a question I had when I first heard this. It says, police say they've viewed hundreds of hours of surveillance footage. How does the Chicago police view hundreds of hours of surveillance footage investigating the Jussie Smollett attack? And it hasn't even been a week. Well, here's how they do that. First of all, they have 12 investigators on the case. They probably have 3 or 4 watching tape. And in order to watch 100 hours of tape, you speed it up until you see people walk through the video. So you can watch 10 hours of video in under an hour. Okay, you can, or even faster than that, as long as you just stop it when you start seeing people pop into the frame. So it's not that hard. You know, just like you can watch a 20-minute YouTube video in 10 minutes if you just put it on 2 times speed. It's not that hard. But I'm sure he wants a conspiracy saying the police aren't really looking for what they're looking for. It's the celebrities that crack me up the most. I have a feeling people in the comments getting pissed people are jumping to conclusions of racism and homophobia after bleach is poured in a noose wrapped while screaming "nigger faggot." Their knowledge of hate crimes from South Park episode. Yeah, well, right now they haven't confirmed any of this. So the reason the police are saying a potential hate crime is because they're only going by the report of the person and perhaps his manager who said it. So they can't, until they confirm it, I suppose they wouldn't, I'm not going to jump to those conclusions either until you give me some proof. Some people think it's BS. Anyone else? There are no celebrities on here. I want the celebrities. They're the ones who crack me up. A lot of people referencing Smollett and his own tweets, constantly bashing Trump. Here, Kamala Harris. Here, let's see. So this is him talking back to Trump, and then they do Kamala Harris. Jussie Smollett, one of the kindest, most gentle human beings I know. I'm praying for his quick recovery. Well, his recovery was done within 2 hours of the incident because, again, he went in the hospital. They released him 2 hours later without any major whatever. This was an attempted modern-day lynching. No one should have to fear for their life because of their sexuality or color of their skin. We must confront this hate. I agree. I think we should confront hate based on people, what they look like or what they do. I don't think we should, I think that's crap. But you know what? This is a case where we're trying to figure out if it actually happened. You don't have the details. The police haven't reported. You're just assuming because you saw articles written in TMZ and GQ and all the places that have run with this as though it is gospel and in the most damaging terms and narrative possible, and you've run with it. And so just like the Covington case, the first thing people heard about the Covington case was there was this white kid wearing a MAGA hat a bunch of teenagers who surrounded a Native American, just standing there drumming and singing his song of hope. And these guys were down there mocking him and harassing him. That's when I first saw that story, my inside visceral reaction was, wow, what a bunch of little fuckers. until I stopped myself 30 seconds later going, oh, wait a minute. There's got to be more to this story. And then we found out that there was a lot more to this story. The same thing applies here. If the first thing you think of is that some guys are slinging racial and homophobic slurs at somebody, and you say, and this guy got beat up, severely beaten, severely brutal beating because of his race and sexual orientation, my first thought is, man, that's messed up. But then you get to the rest of the story. If anyone remembers Paul Harvey, and now you know the rest of the story. It's just so shut the hell up. This sickens me more, that someone's gonna fake something like this. You are tearing the heartstrings, and you're getting people at each other's throats over something that didn't happen. That's bullshit. That pisses me off too. That pisses me off as much as if it actually happened. You're putting people in danger by lying about things like this. Okay? Yeah, severely beaten, but EMS was denied. Emergency medical services was denied. Yeah, right. You declined the police getting you to a hospital to have you checked out. Maybe because you didn't want the police going with you to the hospital to figure out that you weren't injured. Okay? We still have, you know, I in one of the articles, and I didn't really structure this, as I usually don't. One of the articles said that he told people that, no big deal, just some bumps and bruises. In fact, let's find that. I'm going to find that article about the concert that he's not going to cancel. Let's just do that real quick. Sorry about the way I'm doing this today, but we're just going to do it. I only got a few more minutes. This whole thing's pissed me off. Jussie Smollet, where's this article? Let's see. Johnson. Here we go. Tax yelled MAGA country. There's another one where he said he's not. Here, let's add in not canceling concert. Not canceled. Here we go. Let's go concert. Concert not canceled. Sorry about this, but we're going to find it. Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah, this is from Entertainment Tonight. Let's just read this, because this annoys me. Jussie Smollett's LA concert still on following attack as Empire halts production over severe weather. So this is from... this article is also from yesterday, one of the ones I read yesterday. Despite his hospitalization after being attacked, for those of you who just got here, he was never hospitalized. He went to the hospital to get checked out and left the hospital 2 hours later in good condition. He was not hospitalized. Good God. They write these stories without even paying attention to what they're writing or getting any facts whatsoever. Just drives me nuts. Empire star Jussie Smollett upcoming concert in Los Angeles is still set to go on as planned. Oh yeah, with broken ribs. Smollett was the victim of an apparent homophobic and racist attack in Chicago on Tuesday morning, according to the Chicago Police Department. Smollett was reportedly walking down the street when two men started yelling racial and homophobic slurs at him before repeatedly hitting him and allegedly putting a noose around his neck in the span of 60 seconds. In spite of the horrifying nature of this incident, the actor and musician is still scheduled to perform live at the famed West Hollywood venue, The Troubadour, on Saturday. 6 days later, with broken ribs. ET, Entertainment Tonight, reached out to the venue, which confirmed that their calendar, which includes the performance, is current and updated. Paul Kasich, the concert booking company Sean Healy Presents, told Los Angeles Times that They are going with the show as far as we know until we hear anything different. Meanwhile, production on Smollett's Fox drama Empire has been temporarily shut down, but the halt was not related to the attack. Instead, the show is one of multiple programs filmed in Chicago, including Proven Innocent, that have stopped production due to extreme weather conditions. The attacks happened when it was 10 below. Entertainment Tonight learned that Fox provided counselors to the cast and crew of Empire to talk about the incident with Smollett to answer any questions. Wait till his cast members. Ooh, you think his cast members are going to be pissed if this ain't real? Ooh, man, I would not want to mess with that woman who plays Cookie. What the hell's her name? Someone tell me what her name is. If you think about it, the woman who plays Cookie on that show, she had a little fake incident a few, last 6 months ago with her son supposedly being treated badly by police, and then the video footage said, no, it didn't happen. Anyway, sorry guys, can you really beat someone in 60 seconds, especially if it's 2-on-1? Just saying. You could, except if you severely beat someone, would they be walking from in the next frame 60 seconds later? I don't know. Good Lord. Anyway, okay, so a source told ET that during the attack, the actor tried to protect himself, and at one point, the men poured a substance on him believed to be bleach, and one of the guys put a rope around his neck. See, now they're just talking out of their ass, because look, after some time, the men fled the scene. Now, sometime, and Jussie went to the hospital, the source said. Jussie is mostly physically okay with some scrapes and bruises, but he is more emotionally shook up. Now, we've been reading all week that he had broken ribs, or at least in some articles. Now, just some of them, not all of them. According to police, Smollett was self-transported to Northwestern Hospital because he refused transport via the police following the attack and is in good condition. Chicago Police Department spokesman Anthony Guglielmi, which we've been butchering his name all week, told ET in a statement that an investigation is currently underway and they're treating this as a possible hate crime. So, anyway, same old crap. Oh, I didn't even have that on the screen, did I? Here, this is what the article looked like that I was just reading. There it is. Boom, boom, boom. Da, 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 da. I just read all that. Okay. All right. Coming back. Yeah, no, I know, Alan. I knew you were just pointing that out. It's all good. So, good God. Let's go back to that hashtag. If there's anything else I can find here. Yeah, so, yeah, the media that was reporting that and the fact that some of the media erroneously reported, tongue-tied. Some in the media erroneously reported claims that Jussie Smollett said his attackers were white and shouted MAGA country. So, and the police denied that. They still don't know the race of the so-called assailants because Smollett never indicated that. Okay, and then initially he never said the thing about MAGA country until the report on TMZ came out that was said. Then the police interviewed him again, and in that second interview, after the police learned about that detail from the news reports that came from TMZ that everyone was quoting, they went and interviewed him again, and then he said, "Oh yes, that happened too." So, yeah, it's really weird. And there are people. Let's see what she's replying to. Oh, yeah, Viola Davis, who's an actress. She's a great actress. I like her. Oh, my God. This is why the LGBTQ community continue to fight to be seen and protected against hate. We all have to take this racist and homophobic act of violence very personally. My arms are around you, Jussie Smollett. You are loved. And he's well loved. He's a well-liked guy. every interview I've seen, seems to be a cool dude. But sorry, I'm not buying this. And so then this lady says, "Are you truly ignorant? You hear something on Twitter and assume it's true. When people have to spread a lie to perpetrate liberal division agenda, I think they must be running scared." You know, that's an interesting way to put it. You hear something on Twitter and assume it to be true. But you know what? This has been all over news reports too. And the thing is, right now, the media, instead of investigating things themselves, they see something on Twitter, or they, TMZ, please. TMZ is, they're worse than the Inquirer. They just try to drag up celebrity BS. And I still don't understand. So during this whole thing, how did TMZ find out about it and find out these details? Somebody tipped off TMZ first, and now this is the story that spread around the world before we actually know the details. That's why I stuck to that guy from Chicago, ABC7, because he's in constant contact with the police, because that's his beat. He's local. He's there. He knows what the police are saying, and he's not just making shit up. And all the speculation on Twitter, it's funny because, like I said, it's a game of, what's that game? Telephone, or some people call it Chinese whispers or whatever, but that's probably racist saying that. But hey, I can't be racist because that's a new definition, so let's leave it that way. Anyway, anything else on these hashtags? Oh. All right, I know you can see that. This is newly released video evidence from TMZ, Jussie Smollet. That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Maniac Man says, hospital records can prove him right or wrong, but unless the police can get them, we'll never know. It is a publicity stunt for his show. It could be. It could be. They already sent themselves. No, I shouldn't say that. They already received a letter with some threats. And, I always laugh at those things because, on all these hoaxes where it is a hoax, it's hilarious that if you look at the things that are supposedly written, they're always written in this, almost like childlike writing in crayon or marker or something, and it's always written like some, a 7-year-old wrote it, and they, it's like, do they not think that there are any intelligent Trump supporters? Like, do they think they're all fucking hillbillies or something that haven't learned to read and write? And they always misspell something in the hoax ones, like there was the hoax in the one story where they spelled it Niger, like the country Niger. It's just like, yeah, y'all think it's almost comical how all the hoaxes like this are similar, because it's always about someone wearing a red MAGA hat or yelling something about Trump. But if you were really out there intending to do some kind of a crime, would you think? Well, then there was the idiot with the fake bombs, and he definitely tried to put Trump all over it, which I don't get. You still haven't heard about him lately, have we? But why would you be so stupid? You think that's helping your cause? If you are trying to promote Trump, that helps your cause? That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. But it certainly hurts the image of the Trump supporter. So I guess, whatever. Yeah, a lot of people referencing Jussie Smollett's tweets to President Trump. And here's this so-called letter. Okay. See, they do it in this childlike handwriting. I mean, why? And then, yeah, sure, cut out things and the stick drawing. It has. It does have a postage meter on it though. I wonder where that's from. But whatever. So, all right. Well, you know what? I was going to try to get to some other things today, but I thought it's possible that I would not, and that seems like the latter part is probably more true. Oh, this is funny. This is MAGA country. That's hilarious. Oh, yeah, MAGA country. North Liberal Lakes, Chicago. Yeah, not really. Lots of people saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, this is what happened." Lots of people telling that the police have not been able to find any surveillance of the attack, which they have not. I'm sending a healing. Amen. I'm sending a healing light to Jussie Smollet. You know, Lisa, Madam Speaker, NDP. What's the NDP? Oh, this is healthcare and political advocate, proud card-carrying member of the deep state. Nazis are bad. My body, hashtag my body, my choice. Hashtag fur babies resist. Hashtag NORA. Hashtag we are patriots. She has 12,000 followers. Sending a healing light. By the way, I'm going to mention this again. Please, please, please do not go out and harass any of the people that I'm talking about today, or if you're going to have discussions with them, please be respectful, factual, and respectful. That's all I can say about that. All right, let's do just a couple. All right, we're going to do a couple hashtags today, and then we're going to get out of here. I was going to quit my normal time, but we're going to go extend this. You get a little bonus stream today, but I just got to get off this story because I just need a break. I just need a break from this. These people are nuts. Oh, man. Let's get into hashtag Twitter. What's trending on Twitter today? You know what's not trending on Twitter today? As I look through here, Jussie Smollet. Jussie Smollett is not trending on Twitter today. I'm pretty sure that he will be trending in one of these subsequent coming days. Probably. Oh, you know what's going to happen? I know what's going to happen now. Here's my prediction. And unfortunately, I'm not streaming tomorrow. But I'll be able to tell you if my prediction came true on Monday, because my prediction has to do with the next few days. Sometime Friday afternoon, during News Dump Friday, which is between 4 and 7 p.m. Central Time, which makes it 5 to 8 Eastern, there's going to be a news dump concerning this case, where they are going to say the police cannot substantiate any of the information that Mr. Smollett gave them. And this is likely something that did not happen. That will be in the news dump Friday evening. So let's check that prediction. By the way, while you're here, I'm going to remind you also that I do have a Twitter account. You know that. It's at Dawg Knight. You can see it right below there on the screen. I also have a second channel called Marty's Big Journey. I also have an Instagram, which is at Yes That Marty. That information is down in the box down there. And also, you know what? I also have Streamlabs if you ever feel like you want to support this channel monetarily. It's certainly not required. I do appreciate the people who have done it so far, but if you want to do that, I certainly could. I can always use the cash, so you know I got a shill like everybody else. Besides, and also basically right now, all my proceeds I'm trying to save up for a trip to go visit my father in Nigeria. So if that's you're so inclined to do that, that's great. But if you're not, hey, I don't care. That's fine. The biggest way you can help me right now is to help me grow my channel, help me promote these streams by hitting that share button right below the video space on whatever you're watching this on, be it on your phone or on your computer or a laptop or whatever, or your tablet. There's a place. Hit that share button and share these streams out with people. That would be great. All right, let's get into hashtags for today. We'll get these done, and then we're going to get out of here. So right now, the #1 trending hashtag in the United States of America is Jackie Robinson. Jackie Robinson would have celebrated his 100th birthday today. That's That's fantastic. If you're not a baseball person, Jackie Robinson was the first African American person to play in Major League Baseball in the United States, and so it's that's pretty cool. He played for the Brooklyn Dodgers. He says Dodgers. If you didn't know the Dodgers were in Brooklyn, you're probably not a baseball fan. He broke Major League Baseball's color barrier in 1947 and would have turned 100 years old today. So he's exactly 19 years younger than my grandfather, who passed away in 89. Anyway, Jake Tapper, 100 years ago today in Cairo, Georgia. One of the greatest Americans who ever lived was born. Jackie Robinson was a pretty cool dude. It's interesting, you know, if you don't know a whole lot about him, he was, when they were, you know, there was the separate Negro leagues back at the time, and but they, you know, there was a lot of talent in the Negro leagues, and so a lot of times there were places where they would have teams from the Negro leagues come out and play some of the major league teams, and the Negro league teams would just crush them, and no one wanted to see that. Well, they thought, you know, gosh, there were some owners who wanted to have some black players in the major leagues, but they, you know, that was just dangerous. That was a taboo, and so they were trying to find a player that they could, that would be a safe bet for them to be able to be a good spokesman, and also would be able to, you know, handle the pressure of being the first. Because every place he went, there's going to be people booing him and yelling racial slurs and shit. So, so yeah, he was a tremendous baseball player and came into the league, you know, fairly late in most people's career, but. Man, he was a fantastic baseball player and pretty much served the purpose. He was a fairly good spokesman, you know, for that. And then you started seeing players come in the league, more black players come in the league. In fact, Satchel Paige, who might have been one of the greatest pitchers who ever lived, and he played in the Negro Leagues. Paige came in the league like in his late 40s and still dominated as a pitcher. So pretty cool stuff. So anyway, happy birthday to Jackie Robinson. Next thing, what's that there? Oh yeah, the movie 42. That's a pretty good, as far as all the stories I've heard, that's a pretty good kind of synopsis of how it went down. The movie 42 is about the Jackie Robinson story. Zombie Teddy says at the time he was one of the top 10 players, both black and white players. He was the only black player at the time, and he was phenomenal. And people in Brooklyn learned to love him. I mean, at first his reception was not great, even in the team he played on. But when they saw him play, he was such a great player. You couldn't help but you know, appreciate the tremendous athleticism and skill of this player. He was fantastic. So let's see, the number 2 trending thing on Twitter. Oh, guess what? Like it's just about any other day of the week, it's Thursday thoughts. Let's see if there's any good Thursday thoughts today. And I don't mean thoughts THOTS, but maybe I am. No, it's not spelled THOT. That would be funny though. Thursday thoughts. That'd be, you know what, man, that'd be something to do on Thursdays. Thursday thoughts, and have just, you know, pictures of. Never mind. I'm just can that thought. You know what I meant. Hey, Johnny Hellcat, welcome. Where you been, man? Oh, I know you got a weird work schedule. I know how you probably have to go back to work pretty soon too. All right, so Thursday thoughts. No matter what a woman looks like, if she is confident, she is beautiful. I'm not going to say it. I'm not. Moving on. Thursday thoughts. Anatomy of smart creative. What? This is someone. Oh, anatomy of a smart creative. I don't care. the entire country of Canada has a Thursday thought? Whoa! Choosing kindness is just as easy as smiling. Canadian actor Jacob Tremblay. Yeah, but dogs don't smile. Dogs just stick their tongue out. It looks like they're smiling. Come on, man. No, I'm not saying it. No. Della Hayes, what's happening? Okay. Thursday thoughts. Let me find a good one. Are there any good ones? Yeah, UEFA. Champions League. Anthony Marshall. This club is all about winning trophies, and I'm sure the next piece of silverware is not that far away. Fork you, dude. You got a little pun there. Fork you, get it? Anyway, that's stupid. Okay, let's see here. Thursday thoughts. They are feminists. Then they are fake feminists who believe that females are superior. Feminism is men equals women, not about one being superior over the other. Feminist or feminist? Okay. I don't necessarily... Yeah, whatever. I don't necessarily... Dad joke. What was the dad joke? Oh, fork. Yeah, forks. Yeah, that was a dad joke. I'm a dad. I tell dad jokes, okay? Come on. All right, let me see. Let's give me a couple more Thursday thoughts. We'll move on. Oh, here's something about the cold because it's still 24 below where I live. Cold? You bits of kids don't know the meaning of the word. You should have been with me on the Russian convoys. One night it was so cold, the flame on my lighter froze. Albert Schreiner. Something about freezing. That's the Thursday thought. So anyway, Thursday thoughts. Not Thursday THOTS, but the other kind of thoughts. Polar Vortex 219 is the third whatever trend on Twitter. And what do we got here? Oh, this actually kind of sucks, because there are a lot of people. There have been quite a few deaths related to the cold. If you can, here's my thought on this. If you have this ability to find coats or things that you can donate to shelters or to the Goodwill or places like that, go through your wardrobe and find things that you can get rid of and donate. There are a lot of people out there who rely on that stuff. Yes, some of them are of their own doing, but a lot of it can be due to mental health or just all sorts of things. There's reasons why people are homeless. So we have a regular time every fall and spring that we go through everything that we own and see, okay, what can we get rid of, what can be useful to someone else, and we go to either the Salvation Army or Goodwill and give it away. And I just, especially when you start thinking about people now, every once in a while, my wife is really super, she's just a generous hearted person, and so she sometimes will just go buy things, blankets and things like that, and take them to places like that. So but anyway, the Twitter moment: after a deadly cold week, temperatures are expected to ease in the Midwest later on Thursday, which, supposedly, but it's still pretty damn cold here. And in fact, let's see what the current temperature is. It is minus 24 degrees still where I live. So anyway, Wired, by now you've probably seen videos of people throwing boiling water into the air to make instant snow, but does it work? And why can't you just use room temperature water? We break it down. I know why. Because boiling water turns into steam in that sort of an atmosphere where just plain water won't, because of the temperature anyway. That's I don't know. It's a physics thing. And not physics? No. Chemistry? Chemistry. It's a chemistry thing. So, interesting. And, okay, that's about the polar vortex. What else is trending on Twitter today? Things we're going to be talking about. I'm shocked that Jussie Smollet is not, because, my God, that hashtag is, there were 250 of them yesterday. Once is never enough for, this should be a funny one. Once is never enough for a Pringle. Have you ever been able to eat just one of pretty much any kind of potato chip? you know, I've tried it because there was the Lay's commercial. You never could eat just one. I did it just to make a point, but then I had to go back 3 minutes later to eat another one just because, you know, once that's in your mouth, you get that the receptors going off in your brain going like, oh, dude, that was so good. I got to get another one. Anyway, this one, once is never enough for a lady because you're once, twice, 3 times a lady. That's funny. If any of you know who Lionel Richie is, and that's an old Commodore song. You're once, twice, 3 times a lady, and I love you. Yes, you're once, twice, 3 times a lady, and I love you. Yeah, that's a little Lionel Richie for you right there, and that's yeah, my chops are kind of staggered right now. Stella Artois, I don't. Why? Oh, I don't need to see. Oh my God. Real quick, did you see Yashir Ali's tweet on Jussie? He spoke with a couple of sources within the police department. Jussie's manager is refusing to release the call records between him and Jussie around the time of the attack. Yeah, we talked about hey, Cynical Lindsay, by the way, good morning. Yes, we did talk about that earlier. Yeah, they refused to turn over the phone. That was, yeah, so there you go. That's very suspicious, you know. Yeah. Oh, we were on a call when this attack happened. Well, can we see your phone so we can see the time of the call at least? I mean, yeah, you would think if this happened just to see the exact time of the attack so you can coordinate it with the video footage that you're looking for. You would say, yeah, here it is. But they refused. They didn't want him to see the phones. They didn't want him to be transported to the hospital. They didn't want him to call for transport. He transported himself. Wow. Okay. Once is not enough for listening to a good song or watching a good movie. Man, my wife, what's that movie with Legally Blonde? when that movie came out and we got it on video and my wife on DVD or whatever, my wife and my daughter, I swear, watched that movie every night for about a month. They just love that movie. So yeah, once is not enough for a good song, but once is not enough for a good movie. There's several movies that I watch over and over. We love, I watch Glory Road. I love that movie. I like Coach Carter, Remember the Titans. My wife used to like watching, like I said, Legally Blonde, White Chicks. What's another one that we watch a lot? Really into the sports movie. We used to watch Forrest Gump over and over too when we got that on DVD. And I always thought, you know, gosh, it's, you know, and my wife still likes to buy movies on DVD, and we can just pull up movies now like on Netflix or whatever, but she likes to watch them on her own time without having to do anything. We're just clicking something in the machine. So, but there's a lot of good movies like that. Tell me your favorite movie to watch more than once in the chat. Oh my gosh, I got to get out of here. Actually, let's not do that. Hey, I got to close this up. I'm supposed to be somewhere very shortly, so we're going to wrap it up. Hey, again, people, thank you so much for being here. It's been a great morning. And we've got this Smollet case. Like I said, I've got a prediction if you just got here. My prediction is that sometime during the Friday afternoon news dump, we're going to hear that the Chicago police have determined that this incident did not happen as it was told, and that there's going to be something that where they're going to confirm that the story is indeed, what's a good, just gentle term for this? Fabricated. So that's it for today. Again, thank you guys. I appreciate you so much. Make sure you hit the share. If you haven't subscribed to this channel already, hit the subscribe down below here. Wait, where's my finger? There. The subscribe's right down here somewhere. And also the you got to hit the little bell after you subscribe so you get the notifications. Also subscribe to my my Twitter, or follow me on Twitter at Dawg Knight, or my Instagram at YesThatMarty. And thank you again. My name is Dawg Knight, and I am out of here.